मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान कर मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. So yesterday we were discussing about wrong belief about the seven fundamental elements, and we had discussed soul, non-soul, then influx, then bondage, then stoppage, and today we will be discussing about the nirjara tattva, that is dissociation of bondage. Okay, so page number 116. I'll make you a co-host. Yes. So it is on page number 116, and Sasikala ji, you start reading by the time Darshit ji will.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Shall I read?
Yeah.
Further, wrong belief about Nirjara Tattva. Further partial destruction of bondage of karmas is Nirjara, shedding off. How can he who does not recognize Bandha correctly evolve the right belief of Nirjara? For example, if someone does not know that misery will be caused by the poison, etc., eaten by him, why would then he know beneficial the remedy of destroying it? Similarly, if one does not know that the misery will be caused by the karmas bonded in the past, how, how would karmas bonded in the past, how can they, 1 minute.
How would then he know?
How would, yes, sir, I missed that line. Bonded in the past, how would then he know beneficial the remedy of their destruction? Nirjara. Further, this jiva cannot acquire the knowledge of subtle karmic particles through senses and also does not know their power of causing misery. Therefore, knowing other objects as instrumental in producing misery, he tries to destroy them only, but those objects are not under his control. Moreover, if by chance, for the sake of removing sorrow, some agreeable association takes place, then that too takes place as per one's karmas. Therefore, he unnecessarily become miserable by making effort about them. Thus, due to wrong knowledge of Nirjara Tattva, wrong belief is caused.
So you see, he does not know the cause, that how I can wipe out the past karmas that I have bound. So if he does not know the bondage correctly, then he will not know the solution to that bondage also. Okay. So he does not know the nirjara also, how nirjara could be done, dissociation of bondage, how it could be done. So there he gives an example, Pandit Todarmalji, that if misery is caused by the poison eaten by him, then why would then he know beneficial the remedy of destroying it? When he does not know that the misery is caused by poison, then how he will indulge in the solution of that problem? Okay. Similarly, if he does not know the misery will be caused by the karmas bonded in the past, how would then he know the beneficial? How would then he know beneficial the remedy of their destruction? So shedding of bondage will not happen because he does not feel that this is the solution. Okay. So this is the main part about Nirjara Tattva. Further, this jiva cannot acquire the knowledge of subtle karmic particles. Okay, it's very small. You cannot make out through your senses, and does not know their power of causing misery. Jeev don't know that why my life is going like a hell, and he does not know about the karmic particles. Okay, therefore, knowing other objects as instrumental in producing misery, so he is blaming the other person, the other object, as the cause of his misery, but in actual he doesn't know that it is because of the karma. Other persons are only an instrumental cause. So what he does, because of this wrong belief, he tries to destroy those external person or objects. But those objects are not under his control. Object means it could be particles also, or it could be person also. Moreover, if by chance, for the sake of removing sorrow, some agreeable association takes place, okay? Some agreeable association means something which is beneficial to him, that comes into association, then that too takes place as per one's karmas. So that association, agreeable association has come, that also because of one's good karma in the past. Therefore, he unnecessarily becomes miserable by making effort about them, either removing or bringing him. In both the cases, those efforts are futile because the other things are not in our control. So it will work independently. And this fellow who is a wrong believer, he believes that this is the cause of my misery. So he tries to remove the um, uh, tries to remove the external objects, considering them as the cause of his sorrow. And those agreeable association, he tries to bring in those agreeable association. But in both the cases, he is not successful because those things are not in our control. Thus, due to wrong knowledge of Nirjara Tattva, wrong belief is caused. Okay. Now, we will do together wrong belief about Moksha Tattva and wrong belief about Punya Pap. This will end the topic. So, Darshit ji, you read.
Jai Jinendra. Wrong belief about Moksha Tattva and brackets the state of complete destruction of all sorts of karmic bondage is termed moksha, perfect liberation. How can one who does not recognize karmic bondage and all sorts of miseries caused by bondage have right belief of moksha? For example, someone is having a disease. If he does not know that disease and the anguish caused by that disease, how would then he believe beneficial the complete eradication of disease? Similarly, this Jeev is having karmic bondage. If he does not know that bondage and the misery caused by that bondage, how would then he know beneficial the complete eradication of karmic bondage? And this Jeev does not have the knowledge of karmic matter and their potentiality. Therefore, knowing the external objects as to be the cause of misery, he tries to destroy them totally. And he knows that he will become perfectly happy by accumulating the desired materials, which he believes to be the cause of complete destruction of miseries. But this can never happen. He unnecessarily becomes miserable. Thus, due to perverse faith and owing to wrong knowledge of Moksha Tattva, the wrong belief is caused. In this way, this Jeev entertains wrong belief about Jeev, etc. 7 purposeful tattvas, elements due to perverse faith.
Next also you read.
Sure. Wrong belief about punya, pap, brackets virtue and vice. Further, punya, pap tattvas, virtue and vice, are the details of aforesaid tattvas, and the class of both punya and pap is one and the same. Nevertheless, he understands punya beneficial and pap harmful due to wrong belief. Owing to rise of punya, if according to one's desire, some work is accomplished and then he feels it beneficial, and owing to rise of pap, if the desired work does not materialize, then he feels it bad. But both are the cause of agitation, hence both are bad only. And this Jeev, due to its own conviction, feels happiness, unhappiness in such conditions. Spiritually speaking, wherever there is agitation, there is sorrow only. Therefore, treating the rise of punya and pap as beneficial and harmful is nothing but delusion. And many Jeeves at times consider the auspicious, inauspicious thoughts which are the cause of bondage of punya and pap as good or bad. That also is delusion, because both types of thoughts are the cause of karmic bondage. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of punya, pap, wrong belief takes place. In this way, the nature of perverse faith in the form of misbelief of tattvas has been described. This is false, hence its name is mithyatva, perverseness, and this is devoid of true belief, hence the same is termed as adarshan, in brackets no belief.
So you see, the wrong belief about moksha tattva is somewhat similar to nirjara tattva only, because once he does not realize that the misery is because of the earlier karma that I only has bound, and because of that I am suffering from misery, so he will not adapt means to eradicate those bondages. And once moksha is complete eradication of karma, so he doesn't get liberated. Okay, and this is the wrong belief about moksha tattva. The logic is somewhat similar to nirjara tattva, so I'm not going very deep into that. So thus, due to perverse faith, last paragraph of moksha tattva, and owing to wrong knowledge of moksha tattva, the wrong belief is caused. So everywhere the knowledge comes first, and then there is a decision whether it is true belief or wrong belief. So because of wrong knowledge, wrong belief is caused. In this way, this Jeev entertains wrong belief about Jeev, etc. So that is 7 purposeful elements due to perverse faith. Now for punya pap, both are a cause of bondage, and he considers punya as beneficial and pap as harmful. That is the wrong belief about punya pap. Punya and pap both are subdivisions of influx and bondage. Okay, and influx and bondage are worth renouncing. So how can that be that punya can be beneficial and pap can be harmful? Both are equally harmful when we are considering the path of liberation. So for the path of liberation, punya also increases our bondage. It does not shed our bondage. Okay, so it cannot be termed as beneficial as far as the path of liberation is concerned. Okay, so this is the wrong belief about punya pap. Spiritually speaking, where there is a agitation, there is sorrow only. Okay, so or agitation is nothing but sorrow only. Therefore, treating the rise of punya and pap as beneficial and harmful, punya as beneficial, pap as harmful, is nothing but delusion or wrong belief. And many jivas at times consider the auspicious, inauspicious thoughts, which are the cause of bondage of punya and pap, as good or bad. That also is delusion, because both types of thoughts are the cause of karmic bondage. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of punya pap, wrong belief takes place. In this way, the nature of perverse faith in the form of misbelief of tattvas has been described. This is false, hence its name is mithyatva, perverseness, wrong belief, and this is devoid of true belief. Hence the same is termed as adarshan, no belief. Okay, so this was all about the wrong belief about the 7 fundamentals. So here the discussion about the tendency of wrong belief ends. So first of all, it discussed the tendency of wrong belief. Now it will discuss the about the wrong knowledge, nature of wrong knowledge. So after belief, knowledge, and then we will discuss the nature of wrong conduct. Okay. So in all the three factors, there is wrong belief, and because of that, the misery persists. That is the sole cause. So what would be the solution? The solution would be to manifest right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Okay. Now, the nature of wrong knowledge. Prinalji, you read.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
The nature of wrong knowledge. Now, the nature of wrong knowledge is described. Knowing incorrectly the jiva, etc., purposeful tattvas is termed mithya jnana, false knowledge. Due to this, doubt, perverseness, and indecisiveness are caused in knowing the tattvas. There, it this or that. Such sort of mutually contradictory dual form of knowledge is termed doubt, sanshay. Example, am I a soul or a material body? Such knowledge, and it is like this only, such sort of one form of knowledge contradictory to the intrinsic nature of the substance is termed perverseness, viparya. Example, I am material body. Such knowledge and something is there, such sort of indeterminate form of thought, knowledge, is termed indecisiveness. Anadya Vyasa, example, I am something. Such knowledge. Thus, doubt, perverseness, indecisiveness, form of knowledge about the purposeful, essential jiva, etc., tattva is termed wrong knowledge, mithya jnana. Further, the name of false knowledge or right knowledge is not attributed from the viewpoint of knowing correctly or incorrectly the purposeless substances, tattvas. For instance, if a misbeliever knows a rope as a rope, it is not termed as right knowledge, and if a true believer knows a rope as a snake, it is not termed as false knowledge.
Stop. So you see, what are the characteristics of a wrong knowledge? So we have three characteristics. First one is doubt or sanshay. In Hindi we call it sanshay, and in English it is doubt. The second one is perverseness, and in Hindi it is called viparyay. And the third one is indecisiveness, anadyavasai. So the first we discuss the first one, that is sansay. So in sansay, what happens? Is it this or that? So he is in a dilemma. He's not able to take a decision. He's either this or that. He's just having some doubts in his mind. Such sort of mutually contradictory dual form of knowledge is termed doubt. Okay. So once the doubt is there, that means your knowledge is not right. You have to still make a decision about this, whether it is this or that. Example, I am a soul or a material body. Okay. In Chardala, you must have studied these three, and there the example was given that either it is silver or it is what you call seep in Hindi. So English is, there are some
Pearl.
Yeah, right. So the example given there, either it is whether it is silver or pearl. Okay. So that was the example there. And here it is given, am I a soul or material body? So he's not sure, right? So when he's not sure, so his knowledge is wrong. Okay. When there exists a doubt, that means the knowledge is not the right knowledge. These three are the blemishes of wrong knowledge. So when you get rid of these three, you manifest right knowledge. So this was the first one. The person is still not decided, is in dilemma. So at least he is still in the process of deciding. He has not come to a conclusion. But the second one has come to a conclusion, and that also wrong conclusion. that is called perverseness or viparya. And it is like this only, such sort of one form of knowledge contradictory to the intrinsic nature of the substance is termed perverseness. Example, I am a material body. So first the question was that I am a soul or material body. Now the second fellow has already taken a decision, I am material body. So compared to the first one is better than the second one because he is still in a dilemma. He has not decided on anything. Okay. So if he further analyze those both the cases, he might come at a right decision. But the second one has already taken a decision, and that decision is a wrong decision. I am a material body. So such knowledge is perverseness. Okay. Now third one, something is there, such sort of indeterminate form of thought. I'll give you one example. Earlier we had one Prime Minister, Mr. Narasimha Rao. Yeah, Narasimha Rao. So if any problems comes up, he will just he just stop it there and there. He will not take a decision. So it came in the newspaper that the biggest decision about our Prime Minister is his indecision. So he's not able to take a call whether it is to be done this way or that way, whether this is right or that right. So the example here given here is something is there. Now he's not able to determine what is there. So something is there. It is called anadhyavasai. Okay. Such sort of indeterminate form of thought, knowledge is termed indecisiveness. Okay. Example, I am something. So he's not defining whether I'm a body or a soul. So in Chadala it is given kuch hai, there is something, but he's not able to make out whether it is silver or pearl. Okay. So such knowledge is called indecisiveness. Thus, doubt, perverseness, indecisiveness, form of knowledge about the purposeful essential elements. Okay. Purposeful essential elements. If you have three factors in terms of knowledge of these seven fundamental elements, then that knowledge is termed as wrong knowledge, mithya gyan. But if it is about unpurposeful elements, okay, unconcerned elements, then you cannot term it as wrong knowledge. Okay. There is an example coming up. Further, the name of false knowledge or right knowledge is not attributed from the point of view of knowing correctly or incorrectly. Okay. So knowledge is knowledge. It is not correct or incorrect. But due to belief being wrong, the knowledge is also termed as wrong. But in knowledge, there is no distinction of correct knowledge or wrong knowledge. It is the knowledge only, right? But because of the belief preceding it is wrong, then the knowledge also is termed as wrong. And if the belief is correct, then he may not be knowing it correctly, but still his knowledge would be termed as right knowledge. Now, this is something that a logical person cannot digest, just see the example. For instance, if a misbeliever knows a rope as a rope, it is not termed as right knowledge. He is knowing correctly rope as a rope, but it is not termed as right knowledge. And if a true believer knows a rope as a snake, now this is completely wrong knowledge, then also it is not termed as false knowledge. Now, what could be the reason? Just ponder, brainstorm something and give me an answer. Anybody? Open to all. Why it is like that? A misbeliever knowing correctly, but it's termed as wrong knowledge, and a true believer having this understanding rope as a snake, it is still considered as a right knowledge. Why? Why such discrimination? Anybody? We have discussed this. Last 2 days we have discussed this.
Sir, because if he is a true believer, then anything external anyway is not his soul, is not his soul. फिर वो rope हो या कुछ भी हो, it doesn't matter as long as he is a right believer. It doesn't matter. It is an external thing. So for him, that external thing is just ajeeb, whether it is rope or it is
Right.
Rassi, yeah, or Rassi or snake. Yeah.
Right. Very nicely explained. But anybody else would like to try? She's almost near the answer, but still.
Because it might be his view of point and not the right thinking.
But he is knowing rope as a rope. How can you say that its knowledge is wrong?
That is his point of view, sir, but it's...
No, but actually, in actual, it is rope. And he is also knowing it as rope. But it is still termed as wrong knowledge. Why?
Because yesterday you gave an
because
example.
that is not true knowledge.
Yeah.
No, it's true knowledge because rope is rope only. You can see from your eyes, you know. Now the true believer is knowing rope as a snake. Actually, it is not snake. It is only a rope only. So he is knowing.
So because I think what he needs to know is like that is separate from him. So that discrimination, if they don't do.
No. So these are not the purposeful element. Okay. So only you have to know the purposeful element correctly to manifest right faith, right knowledge. Everything else, you may falter, you may have false knowledge about everything else, doesn't matter. As far as you know the purposeful elements very clearly, distinctly, then you are a right believer. That is the whole logic, and that we discussed day before yesterday also and yesterday also. So the the purposeful elements, that is very important. You should know the purposeful element correctly to manifest right faith and right knowledge. Okay. Now the question is coming up. There will be further discussion. Yeah, Darshitji. What do you want to say?
Sorry, I missed the last 2 classes, so and I haven't had time to read up. So I was just going to say that what you're saying here is that only the belief of the Sat Tattva is what's important. The rest doesn't matter.
Yes, rest doesn't matter.
Okay,
you may not have knowledge of the whole world, but only 7 fundamentals you know very correctly, you are a right believer. Okay. So that is showing the importance of knowing the 7 fundamentals correctly. That's all. Nothing else. Okay. So yesterday and day before yesterday, in both the classes, we had a very detailed discussion about the purposeful elements. You need to know only 7 things in this universe correctly. And you are a Samyak Drashti, right believer. Okay. Now further explanation will come, and then also we will discuss. So whenever somebody misses classes, while traveling also, anytime you can just switch on and at least have a roughly idea what were the discussions about. Or even if that much time also you don't have, you just read the text. Page numbers are always mentioned in the like that list. Okay, so you just go through the page number. So at least you will be on track with what the discussion is going on.
Sure,
anyway,
sure.
No problem. So next question is also very interesting. Rajeshri ji, you read.
Question. Why should not one call right knowledge or wrong knowledge to the clearly perceptible right-wrong knowledge? Answer. Where the purpose is only of knowing or asserting right or wrong, then whatever substance is there, the name right knowledge, wrong knowledge is given according to the viewpoint of knowing it right or wrong. For example, in describing direct, indirect form of comprehensive knowledge, Praman, some substance is taken in view, there knowing it correctly is taken as right knowledge, and knowing it doubtfully etc. is stated as invalid form of wrong knowledge. But here the object is to determine the right and the wrong knowledge, which are the cause of transmigration or liberation. In this connection, the right or wrong knowledge of a rope, serpent, etc. is not the cause of transmigration of liberation. That is why the right or wrong knowledge are not described here from their point of view. Here the right and right knowledge and wrong knowledge are described from the view of point of knowing the purposeful Jeev Tattvas, etc. From this purport point of view, only in the scripture, all knowledge of the misbeliever is termed as false knowledge only, and all knowledge of the true believer is termed as right knowledge.
So
I think so. This explains exactly what
yeah,
you asked. Yeah.
right. So
Correct.
now next question will make it more clear. You just go on and read the next question also.
Question. The misbeliever's knowledge about the Jeev, etc. tattvas is wrong. You may call it wrong knowledge, but at least call his correct knowledge about rope, serpent, etc. as to be right knowledge. Answer. Whatever a misbeliever knows, he does not perceive there the difference of substantial existence and non-existence. That is why it produces cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. There, whatsoever he knows, he does not identify its roots cause and believes the contrary cause as to be the real cause. This is the cause perversity. And whatever he knows there, he does not identify its basic substantial nature, rather believes the contrary nature as to be the real nature. This nature perversity and what he knows there, he does not identify that this is different from these and indivisible from these, rather believes divisibility and indivisibility contrarily. So this is discriminative perversity. Thus, perversity, contrariness is found in the knowledge of a misbeliever. Just as an insane person understands mother as wife and wife as mother, in the same way, the misbeliever knows the tattvas contrarily. And just as the insane person also in some particular moment knows mother as mother and wife as wife, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. Therefore, his knowledge is not said to be right knowledge. Similarly, a misbeliever, if in some particular moment knows something correctly also, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief, or if he knows correctly also from it, he fulfills his purpose contrarily only. Therefore, his knowledge is not termed the right knowledge. Thus, misbelief's knowledge is called wrong knowledge. You want me to continue, sir?
No, just stop. Yeah. So the first part was very clear that we already discussed. Now their question again is of the similar nature, that at least you call the whatever he knows correctly as correctly. So again the same logic, because that misbeliever does not know the purposeful element correctly. That's why his all knowledge of his is stated as wrong knowledge or false knowledge. And the right believer knows the purposeful elements as they are. So whatever he knows, even if he knows wrongly the unpurposeful elements, then also his knowledge would be termed as correct knowledge. Okay. So again, it boils down to the purposeful elements. If you know the purposeful element correctly, you are a right believer. If you are not knowing it correctly, then you are a wrong believer. So this misbeliever, he does not perceive there the difference of substantial existence and non-existence. So substantial existence means swasatta, my identity, and non-existence means parsatta, okay, non-self identity. So he does not know correctly that I am the soul and everything else is non-soul elements for me. Okay. So because he has got the belief wrong belief, so he does not know this as his own identity and that of the other entity. That is why it produces three things again. Similarly, when we discussed wrong knowledge, there were three things: doubt, and then perverseness, and then indecisiveness. So these were the three blemishes of wrong knowledge. Similarly, here also there are three causes. Cause perversity, that is called Karan Viparyaya. Okay, that is the first one. The second one is nature perversity, that is Swarup Viparyaya. Okay, three types of perversities are there: cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. Discriminative means Bhed Abhed. Bheda Bhed. In short, it is called Bheda Bhed. But actually, there are two words. He does not know the Bhed also and Abhed also. Which is divisible, which is undivisible, he does not know correctly. He has got perversity in knowing that. So these are the three causes of perversity. Okay.
That nature, what is it Hindi? Karana
Swarup.
purpose.
Karan Viparya, Swarup Viparya, and Bheda Bhed Viparya. Okay. So this is given in page number Hindi, it is page number 85. Okay.
Okay.
You can just connect to that Hindi
Thank
also
you.
if you don't understand this correctly, but it is very clear. Now, each one is being explained. What is cause perversity? There, whatsoever he knows, he does not identify its root cause. So root cause is always the main cause, you know. So he does not identify the root cause and believes the contrary cause, perverse cause, as to be the real cause. Okay. This is cause perversity. Now I'll give you an example, then you will understand. He believes that God is the creator of this universe. Okay. So this, in actuality, what it is? The universe is not created by anybody. It is all automatic, in automation mode. Nobody is creator and nobody is destroyer. But he believes that God is the creator of this universe. So this is called cause perversity. Okay. The second example we can give, that senses, books are instrumental in getting knowledge. Senses and books are the instrumental cause of getting knowledge. So knowledge is an attribute of senses or books. Knowledge is the attribute of the soul. So how can book and the senses could be a cause of knowledge? So this is again what? Karan Viparya, cause perversity. Okay. So root cause he doesn't understand. The third example is the toxic emotions that I manifest in my modification are due to karmas. So again, this is the cause is wrong, because toxic emotion is a modification of the soul and karma are matter substance. So how can matter do something in the soul? So that is again a cause perversity. I've given you three examples. I hope now it is clear. Okay. So karma is an instrumental cause, but it is not a principal cause. And here he believes that these toxic emotions are due to the karma. Okay. So that was the cause perversity. Now coming on to the second one. And whatever he knows, there he does not identify its basic substantial nature. Okay. Rather believes the contrary nature as to be the real nature. So this is called nature perversity. He does not know the real nature. Okay. So this is nature perversity. Examples could be given. that body and soul are all one. Okay. So here he does not know the nature of soul and he does not know the nature of body. That's why he is telling that both are one. The second, the alien disposition and the self nature, right? स्वभाव और विभाव एक ही है. Both are one only. So here again, this is nature perversity. Okay. Then he knows that instrumental cause and the principal cause are one. So here again, there is nature perversity. Now coming on to the third and the last one, and whatever he knows, there he does not identify that this is different from this. So no discrimination is there. Okay. He is different from this. This is different from these and indivisible from these. Indivisible means abed, right? Indivisible from this. So he does not know the distinction also and he does not know the indivisible part also. Rather believes divisibility and indivisibility contrarily. Okay. So this is discriminative perversity. Now,
इसका एग्जांपल मिलेगा.
I am giving you an example.
हाँ.
Like body and soul, they both collaborate and does the action. Okay. So body and soul are two different identities, right? Two different entities. But he considers that both together is performing the action. Now this is again discriminative perversity. Okay. Second example.
तो थोड़ा हिंदी में बताना क्या है इसका.
आत्मा और शरीर साथ मिलकर कार्य करते हैं.
ओके.
The second example is पर्याय द्रव्य कथनचित भेदरूप अभेदरूप है. राइट. उन्हें सर्वथा भेदरूप अभेदरूप मानना. ओके. So the modification and the substance are somewhat different and somewhat indivisible, right? So two perspectives are there, but he believes that absolutely they are either different or either they are indivisible. Okay. So if you believe it absolutely, then it is wrong. But somewhat if you believe it, kathanchit bhed roop hai, kathanchit abhed roop hai. So from which perspective it is different? So it is different from the perspective that both are different substance, right? No, not different substances, but the nature of both the things are different because the modification is of only one moment and the substance is eternal. Okay. So this way there is a difference. But no substance is without modification. So in this case, it is both are indivisible. There cannot be any modification without substance and there cannot be any substance without, there cannot be any modification without substance and any substance without modification. That means they are indivisible. Okay. The third example, attributes and the substance, right? So they both are one in terms of space point. Okay. प्रदेशों की अपेक्षा गुण गुणी अभेद होने पर भी उन्हें सर्वथा भेद रूप जानना. They are indivisible. You know, the attributes and the substance are indivisible in from the perspective of space point, because where the substance is there, there the attributes are also there. So from the space point, both are at the same space point, right? But if you believe them to be absolutely different, right, then again it is a discriminative perversity. Okay. So these are the three types of perversity that exist in a wrong believer. Okay. And because of that, he believes he does not perceive the intrinsic nature of the substance. On the contrary, his belief is always the wrong one. Okay. Thus, perversity, contrariness, is found in the knowledge of a misbeliever. So these are the problems of a misbeliever. Now that same misbeliever, just as an insane person understands mother as wife and wife as mother. So insane means pagal, pagal. He does not have sense. So sometimes he says mother to be mother and wife to be wife, but sometimes he says mother as wife and wife as mother. In the same way, the misbeliever knows the fundamental elements contrarily. Okay, misbeliever. Okay. And just as that insane person also in some particular moment knows mother as mother and wife as wife, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. Okay, definite means real, okay, from real point of view, and assertive belief means uh, uh, correct belief. Okay, so his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. So he is a misbeliever. Therefore, his knowledge is not said to be right knowledge. Similarly, a misbeliever, if in some particular moment knows something correctly, also, like he was saying, no, rope as rope, right? Then also his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. Or if he knows correctly also from it, he fulfills his purpose contrarily only. Therefore, his knowledge is not termed the right knowledge. Thus, believer's knowledge is called wrong knowledge. Yeah, Darshitji.
Sir, you talked about discriminative perversity,
Right.
and then you gave the third example, which was to do with attributes and substance. Are
Right.
both at one space point, right?
Right.
I didn't understand the point clearly. They are indivisible from space point, as both are at the same space point, right?
Right.
So what are we trying to say there? What's the example?
What the misbeliever believes that from the viewpoint of space point, they are indivisible. Okay. But he believes them as absolutely different. That is the fault. Okay. It is not absolutely different. From some perspective, it is different, and from perspective, it is indifferent. So from which perspective it is indifferent? From the perspective that they are in the same space point, from that perspective, they are indivisible. Okay. And from which perspective it is different? Because attributes nature is different and substance is different. Substance is one, attributes are infinite. Okay.
Okay.
In this way, their nature are different, but he believes them absolutely different.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that is the wrong believer's knowledge. Okay. Okay. So now the next question, what is the cause of this wrong knowledge? So the main part of the chapter is coming now, that what is the cause of this wrong knowledge? Okay. We already have discussed this in last 2 days also, but still again, when we talk from the nature of wrong knowledge, same discussion will come, but this is from the angle of wrong knowledge. And ultimately we want to find out that in terms of knowledge, what is being wrong done. That will come into the final conclusion. But now the discussion is logically moving towards that only. Okay. So what is the cause of this wrong knowledge? So the last 2 days discussion, you know that because of the wrong belief, the knowledge is wrong. So wrong belief, uh, 1 minute. Yeah. So because of wrong belief, the knowledge is wrong. So knowing correctly or incorrectly the purposeful elements, okay, it is the cause of wrong belief, right? Not the Jnana Varan Karma. Okay, Jnana Varan Karma, with the rise of Jnana Varan Karma, the person is not able to know that some of the things he doesn't able to know. And from the perspective of Shayopsham, of Jnana Varan Karma, he knows some of the objects. right? So that is from the Jnanavarna karma. But when we talk of purposeful elements, then the cause, chief cause is the faith deluding karma. Okay. Now, what is the cause of this wrong knowledge that we read? Thus, and there is another question, and there is a third question. So all three questions we will discuss together. Let's first read these three questions. And Priyanka ji, you read.
Why question? What's the cause of this wrong knowledge? Answer. Due to the rise of moha, that is faith deluding karma, the wrong belief is caused and the right belief is not evolved. This is the cause of this wrong knowledge. Example, as due to mixing of poison, the food also is termed as poison. Similarly, due to relation of wrong belief, the knowledge is also termed as wrong knowledge. Question. Why don't you call Jnanavarna karma as to be the instrumental cause? Due to rise of Jnanavarna karma, ignorance in the form of absence of knowledge is caused. And on account of its shayopsham, some manifestation of knowledge in the form of mati gyan, that is sensory knowledge, etc., takes place. If out of these we regard some aspect as wrong knowledge and some aspect as right knowledge, then both of these aspects are found in the misbeliever as well as in the true believer. Hence, both of them will be found possessing wrong knowledge and right knowledge. And this is against the fundamental principle. Therefore, Jnana Varna Karma is not established as to be the instrumental cause of wrong or right knowledge. So, should I carry on? Okay. Question. What is the cause of wrong right knowledge about rope, snake, etc.? Why should not the same be described as a cause of wrong right knowledge about the jeev, ajeev, etc. tattvas? Answer. Whatever incorrectness is there in the knowing process, it is due to the rise of Jnanavarna karma, and whatever correctness is found, that is due to the Shayupsham of Jnanavarna karma. For example, someone knew a rope as a snake. There is the rise of the obstructing cause of the power of knowing correctly. That is why he knows incorrectly. And when he knows a rope as a rope, there the cause of the power of knowing correctly is the Shayupsham of Jnanavarna karma. That is why he knows correctly. Similarly, the instrumental cause in the manifestation and non-manifestation of the power of knowing, the jiva, jiva, etc., tattvas, correctly is only of Jnanavarna karma. Similarly, the instrumental cause in the manifestation and non-manifestation of the power of knowing, the jiva, jiva, etc., tattvas, correctly is only of Jnanavarna karma. But, for example, if due to Shayupsham, some person possesses the power of knowing correctly the substances which are the cause of sorrow and happiness, there the one who has got the rise of asata vedaniya karma experiences those objects only, which are the cause of sorrow, and does not experience the objects which are the cause of happiness. If he could experience the objects which cause happiness, then he may become happy, but that cannot be due to the rise of asata vedaniya karma. Therefore, here in experiencing the objects which cause sorrow and happiness, the instrumentality is not of the Jnanavarna karma, but the rise of asata sata vedaniya karma alone is the instrumental cause. Similarly, jiva possesses the power of knowing correctly, the jeev, etc., purposeful tattvas, and the other unpurposeful objects. There, one who has the rise of faith deluding karma experiences and knows only those objects which are unpurposeful and does not know the purposeful tattvas. If he could know the purposeful tattvas, he may attain the right belief, but that cannot be due to the rise of mithyatva or faith deluding karma. Therefore, Therefore, here in knowing the purposeful and unpurposeful objects, the instrumental cause is not of the jnana varna karma, but only that of the rise and the non-rise of mithyatva, of faith deluding karma. Here one should know that in the one-sensed, etc., irrational beings, where the power of knowing jeev, etc., tattvas correctly is not found, the rise of jnana varna karma and the wrong belief caused due to the rise of faith deluding karma, both are instrumental cause. And in the rational human beings, etc., where the power of knowing exists due to the attainment of shayuksham, etc., and even then, if he does not know the purposeful tattvas, there lies the instrumentality of faith deluding karma only. Therefore, jnana varna karma is not stated to be the main cause of wrong knowledge, but the disposition caused due to the rise of mithyatva or faith deluding karma only is stated to be the cause of wrong knowledge. So should I stop? So you're on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. So you see the underlying theme is the same, the discussion is same, that it is not because of the jnana varna karma that we are able to know the objects correctly or incorrectly. And this is, we are talking in terms of unpurposeful element. So as far as purposeful element is concerned, it is always the cause of faith deluding karma. A wrong believer is a wrong believer because there is a faith deluding karma, which is the rise of the faith deluding karma. That's why his belief is not becoming correct. He's having a wrong belief. Okay. So everywhere where the purposeful element is concerned, there is this jnana varana karma and the darshana varana also. Darshana varana means the faith deluding karma. Okay. Here. Not the darshana varana, but the faith deluding karma. So the Moniya karma has two divisions. One is faith deluding karma. The other is conduct deluding karma. So it is always the cause of faith deluding karma by which the soul manifests delusion. And because of delusion, he is knowing all the things wrongly. Okay. This is, we are talking of purposeful element. But where the question is coming of knowing the unpurposeful elements, then always it is a cause of jnana varna karma. Okay. Knowledge obscuring karma. Right. So this is what is explained in three questions. And if you are not able to understand any part of it, then I will discuss that. Otherwise, more or less, it is the same logic is being applied everywhere. But still, I will take the example given in the first question. Example, due to mixing of poison, the food also is termed as poison. Similarly, due to relation with wrong belief, okay, the knowledge is also termed as wrong knowledge. So if the belief is wrong, the knowledge is wrong, the conduct is also wrong. But if the belief is correct, right belief is there, then the knowledge also becomes right and the conduct also becomes right. Okay. So the main driver is the belief. So whatever we are studying right now is just to change our belief. From time immortal, we know the body as our own. But now the acharyas and all the scholars every now and then are explaining that these two are two different entities. One is a soul entity having a quality of consciousness, and the other is a matter substance, okay, having touch, taste, smell, and what fourth one is what? Spars, ras, touch, taste, spars, ras, gandh, smell, varn.
Hearing, sir. Grant.
Varn is like when what we see through eyes, right? So these are the qualities of matter substance, okay? So two different entities And because of this wrong belief, he knows them as one, and that is the problem. In case of all unpurposeful elements, it is the Jnana is the cause. Okay. Now coming on to the third and the final question, I'm I'm just explaining the answer straight away. Whatever incorrectness there is there in the knowing process, okay, it is due to the rise of Jnana karma. And whatever correctness is found, that is due to the Shayopsham of Jnana karma. Shayopsham means the part which is not covered by the karma. So that much part is opened up of knowledge, and through that he is knowing the substances. Okay. Now this is all we are discussing about unpurposeful elements. Okay. So there we will consider the cause as Jnana karma only. Okay. So the portion which is already covered by karma, through them you cannot see anything. That is true. Okay. So whatever incorrectness is there in the knowing process, it is due to the rise of Jnana karma, and whatever correctness is found, that is due to the Sarpsham of Jnana karma. For example, someone knew a rope as a snake. There is the rise of the obstructing cause of the power of knowing correctly. That is why he knows incorrectly. And when he knew a rope as a rope, there the cause of the power knowing correctly is the Sayopsham. That is why he knows correctly. Similarly, the instrumental cause of the manifestation and non-manifestation of the power of knowing the Jeev, Ajeev, etc. Seven fundamental elements correctly is only of Jnana karma. But for example, if due to Sayopsham, some person possesses the power of knowing correctly, okay, so that much knowledge is opened up so that he knows the objects correctly. The substance which are the cause of sorrow. Now, if he has to manifest sorrow, then he will understand it wrongly, because otherwise the sorrow will not be there. So the substance which are the cause of sorrow and happiness, there the one who has got the rise of asata vedniya karma experiences those objects only which are the cause of sorrow. So here experience means knowing. Okay, he knows those objects only which are the cause of sorrow, right? And does not experience the objects which are the cause of happiness. Okay, just because he has to manifest sorrow only, so how can he know correctly? So he is not knowing it correctly. What the cause of happiness? Okay, if he could experience the object which cause happiness, then he may become happy, but that cannot be due to the rise of asata vedniya karma. So there is a rise of asata vedniya karma, and because of that he could not become happy. Okay, therefore here in experiencing the objects which cause sorrow and happiness, okay, sukh and dukh, the instrumental is not of the Jnana karma, but the rise of asata sata vedniya karma alone is the instrumental cause. Now still we are discussing only the unpurposeful elements. Okay. Now, similarly, Jiva possesses the power. This was an example. Now we are coming to the principle. Similarly, the Jiva possesses the power of knowing correctly the Jeev, etc. means seven fundamentals. Purposeful tattvas. Now again the word has come, purposeful tattvas. Okay. And the other unpurposeful objects. So there are seven fundamentals which are purposeful objects, and then there are infinite objects which are unpurposeful. Unpurposeful means it has got no relation with our liberation or transmigration. Okay. There, one who has the rise of faith deluding karma, means wrong belief. Okay. Delusion. Experiences and knows only those objects which are unpurposeful. So he is knowing only the unpurposeful elements and does not know the purposeful tattvas. If he could know the purposeful tattvas, he may attain the right belief. But that cannot be due to the rise of mithyatva, delusion, faith deluding karma. Okay. So again, we are coming to that same story in a different way. Therefore, here in knowing the purposeful and unpurposeful objects, the instrumental cause is not of the Jnanavaran karma, but only that of the rise and non-rise of mithyatva, faith deluding karma. So when we discuss purposeful elements, the only cause would be the deluding karma, faith deluding karma. But when we discuss purposeful and unpurposeful elements, then it could be Jnanavaran karma also. And here is given in the example Sata and Asata Vedniya karma also. Okay. Yeah, Priyanka ji, what is your question?
Thank you, sir. So basically, for example, like when we talk about non-purposeful, 7 fundamentals, ajiv, all the non-living things, or the influx somewhere, the interaction between jiv. Then we have non-purposeful, which are the jivas, which are the jeeves, like our family members, friends. They are also jeeves.
No,
but they are,
for us they are ajiv. So again, ajiv is a purposeful element.
okay. Oh, sorry. Ajiv doesn't mean non-living. Ajiv means anything beyond our own soul.
Right.
So, sir, if anything beyond our soul, rest of the world comes, no? Then, sir, like then what is left? What is non-purposeful then? Because I'm thinking soul.
So the one which has got a direct bearing on your happiness or sorrow, okay, those are purposeful, right? But now you would say that the Dubai is 1000 square meters, right? And in actuality, it may be 1 lakh square millimeter. But what difference does it make for our happiness or sorrow? So those are unpurposeful element which does not have a direct bearing on our path of liberation or transmigration. Now, if you know those incorrectly also, you will not bind karmas. Okay. But if you know the purposeful elements as wrong, then you will bind infinite karmas. And that infinite karmas will be a cause of misery.
Okay. So it's a purposeful knowledge, knowing it correctly or not knowing it. Not knowing it because of Jnana karma.
Anything not knowing because of Jnana karma, but anything you are knowing it, then purposeful elements, it will be faith deluding karma, and for non-purposeful elements, it will be still Jnana karma.
Will be Shayopsham of Jnana sir?
Shayopsham means the part which is open.
Yes, sir. But sir, that, yeah. So sir, if we know something,
so even if you know a purposeful element, you will still require that Shayopsham.
Okay. So it's either Jnana karma or it is Mohaniya karma.
Right. Mohaniya karma.
Now, sir, where do we fit?
Mohaniya also faith deluding karma. Because there are 2 Mohaniya karmas. Faith deluding and conduct. Yeah. So it is darshan moh always.
Darshan Mohaniya karma. And sir, that Sata, that I quite didn't get. Where do we fit that?
Those Sata Vedniya and Asata Vedniya are a cause for beneficial association and non-beneficial association. Now, supposing you have to be experiencing sorrow, so you will have the rise of Asata Vedniya. Because if you have rise of Sata Vedniya, then you will not suffer from misery, right? So since you have to suffer from misery, so you will have Asata Vedniya karma. That's
so
all.
Having knowledge of that I'm going through sorrow.
It is not the knowledge, it is the experience. Now, what you are experiencing, right? So, if the cause is, say, beneficial to you, but you are not able to comprehend it, then you will feel sorrow. So, that same association could be beneficial to you and not beneficial to you depending on what you are experiencing.
Okay.
So those
So
whose destiny is good, they will have the correct understanding and they will manifest happiness. And
okay.
those who are bound to suffer, they cannot have the correct understanding.
Okay. So, sir, just as an example, so for example, you gave yesterday someone who was healthy all their lives in India.
Right.
They went to US to visit their family. There they fell sick or met with a accident.
Right.
Now, either if I'm understanding it correctly, sir,
Mhm.
if that person feels miserable,
Mhm.
thinking like, oh, I met with an accident in the US, this and that,
Mhm.
so then that could be the rise of a Satavedniya because he's feeling
Yes.
sorrowful.
Yes.
Or if he feels that okay, at least I'm getting the best treatment here, I landed on in the right time, the doctors are good, I'm recovering faster, and
Right.
he's not feeling grateful about his situation, then
Mhm.
that could be the right of Sata Vedniya, sir.
Yeah. If he's feeling happy, then it is Satavedni.
Okay. So it's
So,
just about the person that he has at
how
that
do you feel?
moment.
That depends whether it is punya karma or pap karma, right? Now, I'll give you an example. Somebody inflicting pain on you, right? And you become miserable. Then it is asata vednya. Now, same thing happening on the monk, Muniraj. And he is engrossed in himself. He is not, he is not in, he is not manifesting. The monk is absorbing everything and he is engrossed in himself and he is not manifesting any kind of sorrow or misery, right? Then for him it is Sata Vedniya because he is, when this kind of things happen, actually he is shedding bondages. निर्जरा हो रही है उनको उस समय, right? So he has to go to the he has to attain liberation. So before that, all karmas will be disposed of. So some will come this way, some will come without even experiencing those karma, that will go away. So it all depends on how do you feel. Based on that, we term some of the objects as uh, auspicious and some as inauspicious. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
that's why Srimati said that if somebody is coming and inflicting pain on me, then he is my best friend. Because this body was not mine and he is inflicting pain on body. So how does it affect me? Right? So it depends on what kind of perception you have.
Okay.
So
All right. Thank you.
over, I'll just complete this paragraph. Okay, last paragraph. Here one should know. So in Hindi, this is a new paragraph. In English, it is the continuation. There is not a change of paragraph, but in Hindi, it is a change of paragraph. Here one should know that in the one-sensed being, right, irrational being, those who are not having mind, where the power of knowing jiva, etc., tattvas correctly is not found. They don't have power to know it correctly. Then it is the rise of jnanavaran karma. And the wrong belief caused due to the rise of faith deluding karma. Okay. Both are instrumental cause because they don't have mind, so they cannot manifest right belief. So both are the Jnanavaran karma and the Moniya karma. Both are instrumental there. Okay. And in the rational being, human beings, etc., where the power of knowing exists, right? Due to attainment of sayopsham. Okay. Even then, if one does not know the purposeful tattvas, now he has got the ability to know the purposeful tattva, but if he doesn't know the purposeful tattva, there lies the instrumentality of faith deluding karma. Darshan moh. Okay. So because of darshan moh, he is not able to know the purposeful tattvas correctly. Now he knows every other knowledge. He's a scientist. He's just like a industrialist like Ambani, you know. He knows everything and he has got good luck also. Everything is there. But the purposeful tattva he cannot understand. Why? Because the faith deluding karma is there. Therefore, Jnanavan karma is not stated to be the main cause of wrong knowledge, but the disposition caused due to the rise of mithyatva, faith deluding karma only, is stated to be the cause of wrong knowledge. So this is the conclusion, that the mithyatva or delusion or the faith deluding karma only is stated to be the cause of wrong knowledge. Okay. We'll continue this discussion next week. Okay. And there will be no extra class further. We will be doing it on Tuesday and Wednesday as usual. Okay. And the next week we will be completing, not the next week, the next to next week we'll completing this 4th chapter. And that is the time we take a break for 2 weeks. Okay. Then subsequently we'll start again. And the paper 2, it will be Krambat Paryay, sequence bound modification, another very good principle. Okay. And Vijalji was supposed to take, but she's busy. So I'll be taking that. And the paper 3rd, which was I was supposed to take, that she will take. Okay. So after Das Lakshan, we will start the sequence bound modification. I'll share the PDF. So those who want to take a printout, they can take a printout. On those who have got physically the book, so they need not take out the printout.
Sir, one our Bharati has put in one book in English is there.
Krambat Paryay?
Karmapat Padhyay, I'm having it.
I'll be sharing the English one only. Hindi to
No. That book is there. The same book you are following, I'm asking.
Yeah, same. Barilji only, right?
Bharati's book only, no?
Right. So there are 3 sections to that book. One is the discussion on sequence bound modification by Bharilji. Then there are some question answers on that. And then there is Gurudev Kanji Swami's interview on that particular topic. So all the 3 are there in that book, and we will be.
That maybe I'm having old version. Maybe same.
Doesn't matter. I'll share the PDF. Don't worry.
Yeah,
no. Take a printout if you don't have the. I don't have the book, so I will be also taking a printout.
I'm having the book.
English book.
Yes, sir. I'm having.
Oh, that's nice. Because earlier it was printed, but now it is out of print. So you must all have Hindi.
Tomorrow I'll show you. Yes, I'm having the book, English book.
Okay, fine. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है, उसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना